Okay, well, this was a very difficult book for me personally, and I almost bailed out on Tuesday, but I'm here. So greetings, fans of creative nonfiction. So I'm going to have a short song tonight, but a long introductory essay, if you'll bear with me. I know everyone here has probably either had cancer or knows someone has lost or suffered from cancer. So my story is not unique, but this is my story. There was Henrietta Lacks. There was Harvey McGowan, Pat's father, who long after his death to brain cancer helped me to take up music through the love in the instruments he had made with his own hands. There was my wife, Marjie, my partner in Sunshine Cycles, and an early Greenways Trail advocate who endured multiple surgeries and every possible procedure in her losing 3-year battle with breast cancer. There was my fiancée, Ginny Ross, retired director of school nurses for Springfield, founding teacher of the Doula Foundation. Doulas support women and families through pregnancy and labor. It only took 3 months for the pancreatic cancer that all her friends in the medical community had missed to take her away. There was my cousin Tom, the best pilot I ever knew and beloved family man, lost to lung cancer. And my brother Clint, my baby brother, innovative businessman and father of 7, lost to stomach cancer. We here tonight have thus far survived. What have I learned from my own experience? First, I'd say people who have lost a spouse to cancer or heart attack are more vulnerable themselves to serious illness a few years later. And I learned a new word this week, overcare, which might fit. I have to think about it. It turns out those wonderful people who always care for others before themselves, but through cultural conditioning or whatever, slip into a state of overcare and don't care deeply for themselves, tend to get cancer, while angry old bastards like me tend to get heart disease. Thank you. So finally coming to terms with how much death there will be in our lives, and I suppose, okay, here's Earl's theorem. The older you get, the more people you will know who have died. Just something to think about. Anyway, I heard on the radio yesterday about a woman with stage 4 melanoma who was totally cured. Her tumors literally dissolved 10 years ago. It's an immunotherapy that's called for short IPI, something or another. Guess how that makes me feel? Everyone remembers Joseph Meister, the French boy who was the first person to recover from rabies because his distraught mother ran through the streets to persuade Louis Pasteur to try his experimental vaccine on him. But does anyone remember the name of the last person to die of rabies? Sometimes timing is everything, even life or death. My father died mangled in the power takeoff shaft of his farm machinery. 6 years later, OSHA mandated safety features that could have saved his life. Sorry, Dad. We have missed you these 42 years. So why didn't our world-class oncologist and our top 100 bullshit list hospital not offer immune therapy? You've got a terminal illness, for God's sake. What difference does it make if it's experimental? Look what came of the Henrietta Lacks experiment. We told the doctors Ginny, a yoga teacher and retired nurse, a healer who was very body aware, knew that she was very sensitive to medicines. The doctor said, it doesn't matter, we give you your dose based on your weight. And did you know how precise their dosing is? Your pain medicine, if you need more, they double it. If you need less, they halve it. That's it, really precise and scientific and incremental, huh? Did you know most people react differently to medicines at different times of the day? But I guess that's too complicated for doctors to take into account yet. So after Ginny died, the world-famous doctor just kind of shook his head sadly and said, wow, I guess the chemo just burned her up. It's like I told you so, Doc. Now you're infamous to me. Then I'm shunned by most of her family who thought she should have shunned chemo. I thought I was supporting her wishes. But after seeing how she suffered from chemo, I have felt guilty for years. And tell me, what good does guilt really do for the world? Years later, a medical professional compassionately and probably illegally broke confidentiality to tell me Ginny had said directly that she was going to believe in her chemo and see it through. Sure, that makes me feel a lot better now. Another one of life's cold comforts. So I'm sorry, I'm mad. If I ever get to stand in front of the heavenly committee that metes out cancer, we will have words. If I were a real comedian, this is where I would use some really bad words. So I read the book, a good example of creative nonfiction, the new journalism, where the reporter is part of the story. That's not a problem for me. There are high truths and serious questions in those enmeshed stories. So I don't know what to say about HeeLa. I don't know the sound of cancer. I have heard the sounds in cancer wards at night, but I don't know the sound of cancer itself. So I'll just make some sounds for those who have been, those who are, and those who will be touched by cancer. Ripples of grief survive you. Your children grow abandoned. The world goes on without you, and science marches on. The pain has left your body. Just beginning. Those cells have used your life up. Make room for other cells. We did all pray for you. Yes, you fought those cancers. Life cut short before you. Ginny, Marjie, Clint, and Tom. HeeLa, ClHo, and ToHo. Hope and pain and sorrow. GiRo, HaMa, MaHo. Lives are lost, but